Hello. This is kind of prompted by a post this morning by a guy who has architectural 2012, and he wants to put a column on a half wall. And you can kind of see I already worked it out and so forth. So I'm going to do it again. Minimize this screen. I'm going to hit Shift F6. So you can kind of see this as it develops. That gives me two screens. And what I've got here, oh, that's an isometric camera. That's fine for viewing the end result. But I've found when you're, I'm going to close this one. When you're doing this kind of work, the best camera in concert with your plan view is a cross-section elevation camera. And I'm going to hit Shift F6 to, by the way, that command is not arcane or anything. It's right here. Shift F6, tile vertically. So however many windows you have open, it'll tile them vertically. In this case, I'd have two windows open. Okay. Now I'm going to zoom in. See, where's the zoom tools? There they are. Zoom into this area. So I can see what I'm doing. Because this is kind of precise work. I got it all lined up and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do this again. Delete this one. There's some other elements there that I'm going to cover. Let's go over to the wall tools and go to the half straight wall tool. We'll draw, this is how I started. There's the half wall. Now you can open the dialog box of this thing, get the height. Let's see, well, okay. There it is, railing height. It's 36. Let's make it 42. Just to show you that these settings and input boxes control everything. See, now it's 42. Just for fun, I'm going to zoom in over here and go to the dimension tools, end to end. See if I can get a dimension here. Well, it's measured to the bottom of the slab, which is very useful to me. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. That's the base molds. Okay, it's doing what I told it to do. But it's not measuring to the top. It's measuring to the top of the wall. I want it to the handrail. It won't go. Well, okay. You can call tech support, or you can just go, what I do is go to CAD. I'm going to draw a line here. Just draw a line. And hit the space bar to get out of the line tool mode. I'm going to move this up to the CAD line. And then I'm going to click on the CAD line and then click on, see how my cursor changes to that little hand? Which should give me a, that dialog, and I'll put it at exactly 42. Okay, so now we got a dimensions. I mean, this is probably more than you ask and so forth, but you know, I'm just demonstrating, so why not? Okay, and it's a pretty skinny wall to have a column on top of it. Let me click on this wall here. I right-click, by the way. Open this dialog, and I want it to be 12 inches thick. So I'm going to tell its thickness to be 12. Now I got a 12-inch thick wall. Didn't change the height, it's just the width. Now we'll go to the library browser, and I've been here before. I like the square column. I'm going to stick it there. This is probably what you ran into. I'm going to close the library browser now. You left-click and drag, and it bumps into the wall, because solid objects are basically programmed to assume that they're solid and bump into other things. So the thing to do is you can hit the Alt key and then left-click and drag. That didn't work. Or let's hit the Control key. That's CTRL on most keyboards. Press that and left-click on the move handle, and then sure enough, you can go through walls or wherever you want in any direction you want. The Control key allows you, that's what Olivia was talking about. So I'm going to take this and just drag it over into place. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, wheel in. And this symbol by default is a little bit large for our wall, and it's a little bit too tall and so forth. So we'll just fix that up. I'm going to open the dialog box of this object here and make it not 14 but 12 to match my wall. And my wall is 42 inches tall, so I'm going to put it 42 inches off the bottom, floor to bottom. And this is a 9-foot ceiling in this particular room I'm using, so that'd be 4.5 feet from 9 feet. That would leave about 4.5 feet, wouldn't it? I think 4.5 feet. Let's see how that works. And move the camera back so we can see. Well, okay, I never was great at math in my head, but the bottom's working okay. So we'll just drag it up so it hits the ceiling. Okay, now if you're a perfectionist like me, I'm going to line this up over here. It's just a quirk of this symbol, this particular symbol, that it doesn't have a fill in it. So when you deselect it, it kind of disappears. Well, in architectural, in Chief, I could just fix that, but in Pro and the Home Designer programs, you have to do workarounds. So I'm going to go over to CAD Tools, and I'm going to draw me a box. I'll left-click and select the box tool. This is just for a plan view, so how it looks in plan view. I'm going to draw a two-dimensional box there. See, I can open the two-dimensional box. Yeah, there it is. We'll open it for specification and give it a fill, a solid fill. I don't want black. I just want white so it shows up in plan view. There. That's kind of where I was when I first opened the tutorial. Now, you can, when I click here, it's going to ask, because I added this CAD line and because I added this dimension, it's asking me, software, do you wish to save this elevation cross-section window? And yeah, I might want to print that out, and it saves it in these little camera icons. Now, I can double-click on this, and it'll open it right back up, and it's still there with the dimensions and so forth that I put in it. Let's see. Yeah, in architecture, all you can do is open it. You can't rename it and so forth like you can in Pro and Chief Architect Premiere. Anyway, that's a nice tool. And I'm going to go over to the cameras and do a full camera. By the way, a lot of new people get confused here. The full camera just shows the floor that you're on. It won't show the basement. It won't show the roof or the floor above. It's the floor on which you're on. The full camera will show the entire model from the viewpoint that you pick. I'm going to left-click to establish a viewpoint, drag in the direction I want to look, and there's my camera view. I'm going to go Shift F6 again to line it up. And there's different camera modes. If you haven't already noticed this, there's a vector view. I prefer this vector view for lining things up perfectly, and this applies material textures across surfaces, this camera here. One other thing is I'm going to change the material. Yeah, here it is, eyedropper. I want the top of this half wall to be the same as the column, so I'm going to eyedropper that material and then left click to put it on that on the top of the half wall. That's basically about it. There's a lot more to this. There's different kinds of objects. Let me go back to this screen, left click on its border. Let's go to Cabinet Tools. Base cabinet. I'll put a base cabinet here. And see, when I left click and drag the cabinet, it bumps into walls also. Also, when I press the control key, left click, same thing. It'll go wherever I drag it to and in whatever direction I drag it in. So the control key helps you overcome the basic program of solid objects to respect each other, you might say. And so that's the end of the tutorial. I hope this helps you and other people who might view it. Thank you.